Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. Japan is reviving the semiconductor industry, trying to make up for the absence of the past few decades. Japanese semiconductors used to be the strongest country in the world, but now they can only play a supporting role in the industrial chain. Reluctantly, Japan regrouped and not only created the wafer foundry company Rapidus, but also introduced EUV lithography machines. After that, Japan stopped pretending completely, exposed its ambitions for semiconductors, and named American semiconductors and Chinese semiconductors. Japan was a significant force in the global semiconductor industry in the 1980s and 1990s. At that time, Japanese companies such as Toshiba, NEC, Fujitsu, etc. had made remarkable achievements in the semiconductor field. However, the decline of the Japanese semiconductor industry is also a fact. During the most glorious period of Japanese semiconductors, the cake of the United States was shaken. In order to suppress the development of the Japanese semiconductor industry, the two sides signed a semiconductor agreement. The United States has imposed many restrictions on Japan, just to make way for American chip companies. After repeated sanctions by the United States, Japanese semiconductors have since declined. Although there are still some top-level semiconductor equipment manufacturers, the overall strength has dropped several notches. Especially in the chip manufacturing industry, there is not a single advanced chip manufacturer in Japan. If TSMC hadn't invested in Japan to build a factory, it is estimated that Japan would not be able to complete the production of 28 nanometers and below chips. But under such a background, Japan plans to produce 2 nanometers chips across several generations of processes. 8 Japanese companies including Toyota, Denso, and SoftBank established the joint venture Rapidus, which is currently the largest wafer foundry project in Japan. Not only has the investment been very large, but it has also received close attention from Japan. Just because the company plans to trial produce the 2 nanometers process in 2025, if successful, it will change Japan's voice in the global semiconductor industry. At present, Rapidus has introduced EUV lithography machines, and Japanese officials have also launched a strategic cooperation with the Netherlands on EUV lithography machines. It has only been more than a year since Rapidus was established, and it has made such great progress. Manufacturers in mainland China have not been able to buy an EUV lithography machine for so many years, and they are firmly restricted by Western countries. It can be seen from the smooth introduction of EUV lithography machines in Japan that the United States does not intend to take another shot at Japanese semiconductors. Otherwise, the United States has already acted from the moment Japan intends to introduce EUV lithography machines. In fact, it is not difficult to understand that Japan has become a pawn of the United States today, and Japan has also participated in the process of the United States suppressing the development of its competitors. Starting from July 23, Japan will implement export control rules for 23 types of semiconductor equipment. Since the United States has not blocked it, and Japan has enough ambitions, Japan has completely stopped pretending, exposing its ambitions for semiconductors, and naming American semiconductors and Chinese semiconductors. According to news from the Japanese semiconductor industry, Japanese semiconductors should learn from the long-term incentive plans of American semiconductors and Chinese semiconductors for semiconductors. It can be seen from these remarks that Japan has regarded the United States and China as competitors. Both the United States and China have in-depth layout strategies for semiconductors. Let's look at the United States first. It has formulated a $52 billion chip subsidy bill to attract TSMC, Samsung and other foreign companies to build factories in the United States. They need land for land and resources for resources. China has set a target of 70% chip self-sufficiency, and also provides certain tax incentives for Chinese chip companies. The actions of China and the United States in semiconductors are one after another. When a country or region masters the technological strength of the chip industry, the benefits it brings are very obvious. The chip industry is one of the core industries of the modern economy, and mastering the strength of chip technology can promote economic development and growth. A country or region has strong chip technology strength, can provide high-quality chip products and solutions, attract more investment and orders, promote the development of related industrial chains, and promote the growth of the entire economy. More importantly, the chip industry is a high-tech industry, which can enhance the innovation capability of a country or region. Japan is very aware of the truth. The United States and China are sparing no effort to lay out the chip industry. Since Japan wants to regroup, it will naturally not hide it. Japan's cooperation with the United States restrictions on semiconductors in China may be to obtain the support of American technology. After all, Rapidus's 2 nanometers chip manufacturing technology is like that of IBM in the United States. The supply guarantee of EUV lithography machines must also be recognized by the United States. Otherwise, no matter how ambitious Japan's semiconductor is, there is nowhere to display it. Some people may be curious, if Japanese semiconductors really rise, will the United States attack Japan again? If Japan always follows the United States as a follower and cooperates with the various restrictive actions of the United States will only regard him as a so-called ally, and will not take any action. The stricter the restrictions, it will bring certain feedback to the United States itself. It's just that it is difficult to establish a complete semiconductor industry chain. Instead of messing around with the United States, Japan should reshape the development of globalization. This is the most important thing. If you agree with the point of view of this video, please like it. Welcome to Forward. Leave a message and share.